Alright guys, what's going on today? So I'm going to try to clearly explain to you how I'm doing this. So first of all, you're going to want to take any item and scale it all the way down. It has to be an item that you can scale down. Take an item that you can scale down, scale it all the way down and place it on the platform like I've done here. And then you're going to go into your inventory for the things that you can craft. You can choose, your storage container or your teleporter or your galactic trade terminal or like anything that you want to place in your Corvette that is too big to normally place in a Corvette. Once you have that selected, it will show it in red at its normal size. Now, depending on the platform that you're on, for me, I'm on Xbox. So for me, it's X and Y. I have to press X and Y at the same time. So X in your build menu is toggle edit build, and Y is toggle wiring. Now when you press those at the same time, the item should disappear and you should be able to go over any other object and duplicate it. If you can do that, then you know that you've done the cache pin glitch correctly. So now that you can duplicate it, I want you to duplicate the item that you scaled down. Once you've duplicated that item, you're going to then press Y and RT at the same time. Now if you do it correctly, the item that you chose should reappear scaled down. If it doesn't work, you'll just have to do it again. The reason it doesn't work all the time is a timing issue. Now, it's hard to explain it like it's at the same time, but it's not at the same time because for whatever reason, I don't know. I think that the timing, you need to hit one just slightly faster than the other. But it's like the delay is so close that it's like you're pushing it at the same time. So if you can't get it to work, just keep doing it and eventually you will get it. Like you'll see in the video, a number of times where it doesn't work for me. So I mean, I've been doing this for quite a while and it still doesn't work every time for me. But it does work. I've had lots of people reach out and ask me if I'm using a mod or if I'm using Blender to do these builds, and I'm not. There's no mods. I'm on Xbox. So if you're on PlayStation or if you're on Xbox, you can do any of the things that I'm doing in these videos. You can put flooring or walls or any other base parts that you want in your Corvette. And the reason that I'm doing, these things, like right here, right now, I'm putting refiners. Like you can have 5 refiners in your Corvette instead of the 4 that the Corvette build system usually lets you put in, and you can fit them all in one hab. That's why I do what I do. You can make small Corvettes and have everything you need in the small Corvette instead of having like a 8 hab Corvette to fit all your storage and all of your refiners and your nutrition unit and all of that, right? So it's a very handy tool to utilize. It just takes a little bit of time to figure out how to do it correctly. So again, you want to take an item that is scalable, scale it all the way down, place it down, and then choose your storage container. You want to push X and Y at the same time. If you can duplicate something, then you've done it correctly. Duplicate the scaled down item, and then push right trigger and Y at the same time, and it'll work. Just play around with it and you'll see. Now, placing the item is slightly different. Like I've shown in the videos before, to do this, you have to make a floor first. Like a floor that sits above the floor of the Corvette. Now this is very, very important because in the base building tool, it will not let you build Corvette parts or base parts in your Corvette, right? So you need to fool the game into thinking you're building a base. So you can build a floor right through your Corvette. Above your above the floor of your hab, it needs to be like really barely over the floor of your Corvette, because if you build it too high, which I have done before, what will happen is you'll go to get in the Corvette and you'll be too tall to move around in it. So it almost needs to be clipping through the floor of the Corvette, but have the flooring, you know, just above so it's visible. So once you have that floor at that height, you can place the floor throughout the entire Corvette, okay? Now once the whole floor is placed and you're happy with it, you go back one square at a time, and the way you do this, so you're gonna have to be close enough to the Corvette where you can cycle between the Corvette builder and the base builder, and this is gonna be, you know, fairly regular. You're gonna have to swap between them because the Corvette builder will fight you the whole way while you're doing this. It's going to keep switching back to Corvette builder, but you want it to stay on base builder, right? So while you're on base builder, if you have the whole floor placed, pick up a square, just hit RT to pick it up, make sure that it's in place, toggle your swap between your Corvette and your base. You want to make sure it's on base so the item is green. And when you place the piece again, you want to press, I'm going to say, I don't know what button it is for PlayStation. For Xbox, it's like the 3-line button. But I'm going to say it's the start button, because if you're an old school gamer, this button on the Xbox controller is where the start button used to be, right? I'm not familiar with PlayStation. Like, I'm sure for the X and the Y on PlayStation, I'm pretty sure that's square and triangle, right? But you'll just have to look. It's toggle, edit build, and toggle wiring for the cache pin glitch, right? So for placing it, it's the start button, which is the button that toggles between your base and your Corvette, and RT, which is place, okay? So you want to push start and RT at the same time. And that should place it. Now, you have to make sure before you place it that you are on base. So that the whole purpose of this is you're switching from base to Corvette and placing at the same time. And if you place it at the same time and do it correctly, it will put it into your Corvette, and you shouldn't be able to pick it up or delete it anymore. The only way to remove that piece is going to be to go back to the space station and remove it in the Corvette editor, which is what you want, okay? So once you have your flooring placed, you're golden. If you want to put flooring in your Corvette, I'm not saying you have to, you don't have to, but if you want to, that's how you do that. Now, if you do that, you will have to build another floor on top of that floor to place any items that you want in that Corvette. As you can see in the video, for everything I put down, there is a floor underneath it that I can remove later. You will not be able to place any of these items into the Corvette. You have to build a false floor to put them on. And that's how it's done. And like I'm telling you, the sky is the limit. There's nothing that you can't put in the Corvette other than the aquarium. And you'll see in this video, I've tried to put the tiny aquarium in the Corvette over and over and over again, and for whatever reason, I can't get it to stick. I can get it to shrink. I can place it, but it always is removable. Like if I put it down and I fly away, they just disappear. So I'm not really sure why that item is bugged like that. Like you just can't get it to stay. So, but yeah, like the goal here is to get everybody to be able to build, you know, whatever they want. You know, that's kind of the whole purpose of me making these videos, because I don't see a lot of people putting videos out of stuff like this. You know, like sure, I've seen videos with base parts and domes and whatever, but I don't know that people are aware of how far you can push this build system. Like, these ships are way more customizable than people know. So with that knowledge, you know, just play around with it. It's not the simplest thing to do, you know, when you don't know how to do it, but it's really not that hard. So I hope I explained it well enough. If anybody has any questions, don't be afraid to leave them in the comments, and I will try to help you out as best as I can. Anyway, I will leave you here. Enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks.